Your story. I'm reflecting briefly today on the significance of you to God. You know, I was watching a movie last night, and it was just the story of one amongst millions. You know, if you watch a movie, you see somebody walking through city streets, and we're honed in on their life, their sacrifices, the pressures, their desires, and in a sense we're overlooking millions of people to see this one person in the midst of the millions. And yet there's something in us that knows to connect with the one, as it were, is to connect with the millions. And it's the same with your story. You know, one of the maybe the deepest and most secure footings we have in this life is when our walk feels like the walk of Christ, which is not the walk anyone really wants. You know, when James and John came to Jesus and said, we want your glory. Basically, when you're in the presence of your Father, we want to sit at your right and at your left. We want the glory we see that you're going to have. And Jesus said, can you drink from the cup that I have to drink from? Referring to the cup of suffering, the cup of sacrifice. It was so deep that Jesus begged God to take it away. Matthew 26:37-39, he said, take this cup from me. And then in Matthew 27:46, Jesus is quoting Psalm 22:1, saying, my God, why have you forsaken me? Also how Jesus was feeling. Psalm 22:14, he said, my heart melts like wax within me. Jesus felt such fear. And all these greats, Paul, 2 Corinthians 7:5, fear within. He was saying to the Corinthians, when we were there, we felt fear within. The true heroes, the truest heroes, not the ones in the movies, the ones we hear of in history, the ones that have broken barriers, the ones that have survived standing up against powerful and dark forces. We don't want their lives. We want their glory, but we don't want their walk. But listen, Jesus sees the walk you walk that is like his walk. Loneliness, fear, uncertainties, people betraying you, disloyalty. It says in Isaiah 42:3, and this is the sentiments of God towards you in the hard times, in the Christ walk. He says, a bruised reed he will not break, and a smoldering wick he will not snuff out. If you're feeling bruised today, if you're feeling like there's no flame in your life, but you barely smolder, you stand with those that were very close to God. When Peter was overcome with doubt, when he walked on water, Matthew 14:22-33, Jesus called Peter. Now Peter wanted to be called. He said, call me. Jesus called him. He walked, and when he was within arm's length, he was overcome with darkness and doubt, began to sink. And Jesus caught him and said, why did you doubt? Those mighty warriors often were overcome with doubt. John the Baptist, Matthew 11, having lived his full life and served God faithfully, he was overcome with doubt. Elijah, 1 Kings 19:4, overcome with a sense of failure and doubt. He falls and he says, Lord, I'm no better than my rebellious ancestors. Let me die now. And I think, you know, in your loneliness, in your sacrifices, in your hurt, in your bruised state, in your smoldering state, you fellowship with Christ in his sufferings. Philippians 3:10, you fellowship with the King of Kings, and he sees what is done in secret. All of Matthew 6:4, 6:6, 6:18. Jesus is admonishing us to value the secret sacrifices that we make. He says, your Father, who also is unseen, sees you unseen in secret, and he will reward you. Don't grow weary. God bless you.